Are credit pulls dragging your credit score down? I'm going to show you exactly how to remove them and boost your credit score faster than you may think. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're diving into a topic a lot of people are asking about. How do I remove hard inquiries from my credit report? So if you're trying to boost your credit score, stick around because this one's for you. All right, so let's start removing these hard inquiries. First, we need to find all your inquiries on your credit report. You can get your free credit report from annualcreditreport.com, which is fine. But I use Experian and Credit Karma because they're user-friendly, especially if this is your first time doing something like this. All three are free: Annual Credit Report, Experian, and Credit Karma, or even Credit Sesame. So choose what works best for you. Just make sure you have access to all three reports: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And the reason you need all three is because you might notice that an inquiry might show up on TransUnion and not Experian. Experian and not Equifax. And we want to get all inquiries off. So just make sure we have all three credit bureaus. So once we have our reports, look for any hard inquiries. What we're looking for are any inaccuracies. In my case, when I went to the dealership, I gave the dealership authorization to pull my credit one time. I didn't give them authorization to run my credit with 15 other banks. Now, this might not be the case for you. I understand that. So let's say by chance you did apply for credit a few months back. You go on your credit report now, you don't remember applying, you don't recognize that inquiry. That's a problem. Now you can dispute it because to your knowledge, you didn't consent to this hard inquiry, making it an error on your credit report. So whatever hard inquiries you don't recognize, you can dispute. Time to get this taken off your credit report. So let me show you how to dispute. All right, so we're going to start a hard credit inquiry dispute letter, and we're going to send this straight to the credit bureau. Skip sending it to the company reporting. So if it's being reported on Experian and TransUnion and not Equifax, we're only sending this to Experian and TransUnion. If it's being reported only to Equifax, we're only going to send it to Equifax. So we're going to start this letter with basic information: name, address, email, date, and then right under that, we're going to put the credit bureau's information. One thing I want to point out is the consumer dispute address is different than the general mail address. So make sure that you do have the right address when sending these letters. I will have all three addresses in the description, so you make sure you have the right ones. All right, so after we have all that filled out, this is how we're going to start the letter. Make a subject line: request for removal of hard inquiry. I'm writing to formally dispute a hard inquiry that appears on my credit report. The inquiry in question was made by, and then right here, you're going to put the company that actually pulled your credit. In my case, it's North Park Lexus. So make sure you don't put North Park Lexus. Make sure you put the company name that pulled your credit. And then right after that, you're going to put the date this hard inquiry was made. After reviewing my credit report, I believe this inquiry was made in error without my authorization, and I'm requesting its removal from my credit report. Then make another paragraph and write, to assist in the investigation, I have included the following details. We're going to put the inquiry date, company name that pulled your credit, and then the nature of the dispute, why you're disputing this hard inquiry. And you're going to type unauthorized or erroneous inquiry. Erroneous just means made in error. So if you don't want to write this letter yourself, I do have a link in the description where you can get this template, and all you have to do is fill in your personal information. I would appreciate it if you could promptly investigate this matter and, if warranted, remove the inquiry from my credit file. This next part is very important and the key to getting these hard inquiries removed from your credit report. I understand that under the FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act, you're required to verify and remove any unauthorized or inaccurate information from my credit report. Please confirm the removal of the inquiry in writing once it has been processed. If you require any further information or documentation from me, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm also keeping a record of our correspondence if this matter escalates to the CFPB. So that sentence is to let them know that you mean business, that you know what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing here. Hopefully it doesn't come to that and we don't have to escalate this to the CFPB. The average person trying to get hard inquiries removed from your credit report wouldn't know what the FCRA is, wouldn't know what the CFPB is. So just throwing in these quote unquote buzzwords into your letter lets these credit bureaus know you know what you're talking about and are prepared to take it to the next step if your requests are not met. And end it with thank you for your prompt attention of this matter. And then lastly, you're going to type your name and sign. This is our dispute letter to remove a hard inquiry. So from here, what you're going to do is you're either going to mail this out priority or you're going to mail it out certified with signature confirmation. Certified with signature is a little bit cheaper than priority, so I'd probably go that route. Just make sure you get signature confirmation any way you send out. So you have proof the letter was delivered, and the credit bureau cannot deny receiving the letter because somebody has to actually sign for it. Because I'm sure we've all been there at one time or another. Even though a letter or a package has tracking, it can still go missing, even if it shows it was delivered. So signature confirmation is very important. So from here, all we do is wait for the response, and it usually takes about 30 days. So what's going to happen here is the credit bureau you send this letter to, let's just call it Experian, is going to reach out to the company that pulled your credit, and they're going to ask them for proof that you gave authorization for them to pull your credit. So one of the reasons this letter works is because those companies are not going to have that information readily available. Let's think of a big bank. Let's just say Chase, for example. Think of the amount of applications and credit pulls they go through on a daily basis. Multiply that to the time that's passed since this inquiry's been made. So what happens is when Experian reaches out to Chase and Chase doesn't have that information, and Chase, knowing they have only 30 days to respond to stay in compliance with the CFPB and the FCRA, they more than likely would just agree to remove this from your credit report and to actually have to go out and waste time looking for that hard inquiry and looking for that authorization. So if it does come back request denied because they were able to show proof that you did authorize this credit pull, we can still escalate it. It just depends how much time you want to spend removing this hard inquiry. So I hope this video was helpful. Good luck. Links in the description. See you next time.